Blood at the Root is a book that was just released earlier this month, and it was an instant New York Times bestseller and tells the story of a young black man at an HBUC who discovers he has magical powers. So here to talk about all of it, author, playwright, filmmaker, LaDarrion Williams. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, I was telling you this before we went on camera. I love fantasy. I feel like it lets your mind go to different places.
Yeah.
Your mind went here.
Obviously.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the book, but also New York Times bestseller. You're 31. That's huge.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Blood at the Root is a young adult contemporary fantasy. It's about a black kid named Malik Barron who gets accepted into a magical college called Came University, and he must go there to learn about his ancestral magic, but also uncover some dark secrets surrounding his mother's mysterious disappearance. Because some professors or students may or may have not did something to do it. So it's fun. It's set in the South. It's magic. It's everything you can find in a young adult fantasy.
I love this. I was looking at your Instagram page and I saw there was an article from People.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
And then also I was reading that this was a book that you wrote because the younger you would have wanted to read something like this.
Yeah, I just really didn't find a lot of, black boys in YA fantasy as the main hero. So I really, after I went to a bookstore, I didn't find a lot of books that had a black boy on the cover. So, I went back home into my apartment, locked myself in there for 12 days, living off of Cheez-Its and Oreos, and just wrote the first draft.
Sounds delicious.
Right, writer's diet. And so I wrote the first draft of the book, and, that was like a few years ago. And here we are, New York Times bestseller, and I'm going to keep going.
What was it like when you found out that you hit that point?
I was actually driving into New York for my second time. Like, my agents called, they were all screaming, and like everybody was like, "Oh my God, you hit the list!" And I'm like seeing the New York skyline. I'm like, I'm a New York Times bestseller, and I'm going into New York. So it's just a a full circle moment. The theater kid in me really jumped for joy. But it felt really great, and it felt like a relief. Like, I fought for this story for years, and I think kids like Malik, who look like Malik, deserves to see this story on on that type of platform. So it was definitely great.
Totally. And I also think like that goes beyond that, right? Because we've been seeing this huge push in Hollywood in general to have diversity on screen,
of course,
and also behind the scenes. But you're also a minority behind the scenes of this wonderful book. So you're giving kiddos two things to look up to.
Exactly. And that's important. And that's why books are so important, and they're very powerful. And it could change, people's lives when they read them and get lost in the pages. So yeah, that's why I wrote it, and that's why we're why we do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So you gave me a little tidbit on what the story is about.
Yeah.
What do you hope kids gain from this? And are we doing a multiple book series?
Listen,
is that in the future?
Yeah.
Are we hitting Netflix or Paramount Plus with a series type show?
Well, hopefully.
You're like, those are all things that I would love.
Yes, I really do think kids, they can find history really cool and magic and mix it all in. And also a theme of connection and ancestors, and also just, your family lineage and also found family. I think they could really find a lot of those themes in this book and really, learn about life through their eyes. So yeah, that's what you can learn. And I'm hoping for a TV show. We're really working hard to get it out there. So Hollywood, please.
Please. Okay, let everyone know where they can get the book and where they can find more information about you.
Yeah, you can get the book wherever books are sold, Barnes & Noble, books, Amazon, also indie bookstores. Please support your indie bookstores. That is very important. Also, you can find me on all social media at It's LaDarrion. That's my handle, and that's what I talk about my books and creativity and all that. So.
And you know what I love too is getting people hyped up about stuff before it hits the big screen, right? Before it hits Paramount Plus, before it hits Netflix. Like, we want to get you the full fan base prior to that.
Exactly. So please, buy the book so you can say, I read the book when.
Totally.
Boom. Yeah. So
I'm gonna say I met him when.
Yes.
Because don't forget about us.
No, I won't. Definitely.
Okay.
Right down the street. I live right down the street, so
Perfect.
I can always come back.
Oh, don't tell me that, because I'll call you last minute to come back on the show for different things.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here on the Morning Wrap. You're the best. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're a beautiful human being.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.